Hello, welcome back to another video. Today we got some more Mama June. How did we get here? But before that, I want to say about yesterday's video. I was messing around with a voice mod just for fun because I got whatchamacallit, I got Arc Raiders. Yeah, right? Is that what it's called? Doesn't even know what game he owns. Yeah, shut up. So, yeah, I got Arc Raiders and whatnot, and it has proximity chat, so I thought it would be funny to, like, boot up a voice changer and do just goofy fucking voices with proximity chat. And, I may or may not have forgotten that I had it on yesterday because I was testing it the night before and went to bed and left it on when I went to bed. So when I booted up the computer, it auto-booted to that. So yeah. Anywho, let's get into it. This is a 30-minute video. This was gonna be a long one.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am here to—
Jesus Christ, what's with her mic? God damn. What the fuck? Hold up, I need to check some settings. Alright, alright, now we should, yeah, there we are. Now we're good. Now we're officially good.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am here to—
Never mind. It's a fucking filter and I can't do anything about it. I'm really sorry, viewers.
That the rumors are indeed true. The Democrats have struck back. In the New Jersey governor's race, the Democrat won. In the Virginia governor's race, the Democrat won. And in the New York City race, Democratic Socialist Zoran Mamdani defeated Andrew Cuomo to become the next mayor of America's largest city. But the question on everyone—
Yeah, but I mean, he's boned, realistically. Because, like, if that budget so much as remotely hits negative, he's screwed. Because the state's going to take over the finances, and without money, you can't do anything. So he's going to be, regardless of anything, he's going to be under heavy watch by the state government. He's going to be under a very, very, very big lens.
His mind is, was it just a fluke? Just easy wins in blue cities and states? Or is there something more to this? Is this a sign of things to come? Is the Democratic Party finally turning their losing streak around? Are they actually listening to the people now? Did they finally learn their lesson? No. Thanks for watching.
Hey,
my last
let's
three
go.
videos about electoral politics were warning the Democratic Party that young men were moving right because the party f***ing sucks and was becoming the young men eat sh- and die movement, spanking the Democratic Party for losing because they elected one of the most unlikable shittiest candidates while offering absolutely nothing to voters, and defending the voters from the wrath of a bunch of liberal streamer man-children calling the
Bro, I'm not gonna lie. Trump and Hillary fighting over Bill's attention back in the 2016 race was way more enjoyable than watching Kamala and Trump race against each other. Honestly, it was kind of sad if you think about it. Like, you kind of have to feel sorry for Kamala because it's like honestly, it's like taking a special needs kid to play against a basketball pro, but the basketball pro, instead of taking it easy, it just goes full balls to the walls and sweats his ass off and just obliterates the kid. Like, the kid doesn't even get to score. Like that's what comes to mind when it came to, like, Trump versus Kamala. Because Trump versus Hillary was hilarious. Like, who remembers the times of, like, oh, Hillary saying something and Trump immediately picking up the mic, wrong, you're wrong, wrong.
Or stupid and evil for daring not to vote for Hillary Clinton and brownface. But the thesis for all three of those videos was basically the same. As the right embraces working class populism, the Democratic Party and the left will continue to fade into irrelevancy. But as I also predicted in those last videos, there might be an eventual pendulum swing, and it might be happening much sooner than I predicted. Like, how did we go from Republicans winning the popular vote, in part thanks to a lot of the young people voting, to a bunch of data showing those same young people dropping their support for the GOP already? But the interesting thing is, those young people don't seem to be moving to the Democratic Party either. Where are they going? And do the Democrats have a plan to scoop these people up? Yes, they do, and they called it, I'm not kidding, deciding to win. Deciding to win.
What the fuck? Bro, honestly, the only reason they're not the people that are fed up with the GOP aren't going to the Democratic side is because the two-party system at the end of the day sucks ass. All right? Because if both parties are terrible, it creates this scenario where it's like no one wants to vote for either or. And the third option is never going to get anything done realistically because guess what? The Senate and the Senate and Congress are both still going to be Democrat and Republican. And if you're a third party, good luck getting anything past both of those because you need majority vote. So it's like at the end of the day, this is sadly a product of the two-party system. George Washington was right at the end of the day when he said that the two-party system would be the downfall of America, and he wasn't wrong.
And as if the whole time they have just been simply deciding to lose. It was a choice, guys! They changed their mind and they want to win now. In this video—
No, Shu, you don't understand. Kamala losing the presidency was actually a strategical retreat so that way they could regroup and win the battle later on, even though at the end of the day, Trump is still at the head. I don't know. Like I said, like I keep saying, like I will always keep saying, who says liberals are good with logic?
I will talk about why I think Zoran Mamdani won. We will go through the Democrat Party's plan to decide to win. We will briefly talk about—
Honestly, I feel like I maybe I know what she might say about why Mamdani won. I personally think I know why he won. We'll probably talk about that when she gets to Mamdani. And honestly, it makes sense based off of what I was saying at the time during him running for like the mayor and all that stuff. So yeah.
The rise of the political commentator Nick Fuentes, the MAGA Civil War, and what I like to call the inevitable rise of shoesalism. If that sounds interesting, stick around. If it doesn't, you can leave. It's not like I'll miss you or anything. But
don't say it.
I know a lot of you are not very—
I knew it. The moment she said, it's not like I'm like, please don't go there. Please don't do that cringy shit where everyone says the fucking anime word. And she said the anime word, and I was like, oh my god, Shu, come on. You're a mom, for Christ's sake. Set a better example for your child not to be this cringe. Or actually, no, this works perfectly because this way, while your child's growing up, you could pull up this video and be like, look, mom was this cringe. Don't be like this.
very interested in politics. You come here for the fun Reddit slop, the men vs. women content. Yeah, I know. But unfortunately, politics kind of seeps into your lives whether you want it to or not. So you might as well be entertained when you hear about it and have some fun with it when you can. And I just so happen to have the perfect app for that. So before we get into this political deep dive, let's quickly give a shout out to today's sponsor, one of my favorite sponsors to work with, Ground News. Ground News is a website and an app that gives readers a transparent and easy way to—
Alright, okay. Bro, I swear to God, these first fucking couple of minutes are gonna be loud. I have a feeling. But I feel like I may have fixed it, so maybe she won't sound like she's yelling through a microphone. Let's see.
To read news from all across the political spectrum, from left,
Great.
right, and center. Every story comes with a quick visual breakdown of political bias that helps you understand the full story and makes—
Bro, I fucking love Ground News, man. I love just seeing those little fucking notifications pop up. And oh my god, the thing is, they always talk about the PC, and they don't talk about how seamlessly integratable it is with the iPhone's widgets. Now that iPhone introduced widgets, like on the on the widgets page, you can have an actual Ground News thing, or it's one of the bigger squares of the widgets, like the biggest one, and you can actually see both left and right blind spot. which is pretty cool. I like it because right there on your phone you can essentially see what the blind spot is for both sides on the same page, and you can click on like a total of like I think like 2 articles. Let me actually check. Shit. Let's see. Okay, so yeah, so when you're looking at it, if you have an iPhone and you put it on the widgets page, you have at the top you'll have your breaking news with the headline, and then headline and image to the right, as well as what the percentages are. So like it says right there, left, center, and right. Then underneath that one, you'll have top blind spots. For me, it's top American blind spots with the little American flag. And it says left blind spot, trans athlete strip of gold in world's strongest woman, whatever it cuts off. And then it says for right blind spot, California is considering cutting power company. I'm assuming that's profit. And at the same, and like I said, at the bottom, it shows you what the percentages are. So for instance, that left blind spot, it's only 1%. It looks like it's in the, not the 1%, but it's in like the tens for both left and center. And then for right, it's 76%. While for the right blind spot, it's 67% left and 33% center that are covering it. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about that because they never actually talk about that. And I'm like, bro, that's literally one of like the most handiest fucking features that, Ground News has. Not sponsored, by the way. Just as an FYI, just adding the shoes sponsorship. You're welcome, by the way.
Sure, you're getting both sides. One of my favorite features on Ground News is the blind spot feature, which shows you news stories that have been covered by one side of the spectrum and ignored by the other. For example, here is a story about how the White House apparently intervened in an Andrew Tate federal probe. 29 news sources covered this. 86% of them were left-wing. None were right-wing. Ground News also makes it really easy to compare headlines to see how political bias can affect framing.
Bro, I swear to God, some of those headlines are so funny depending on who you look at it. It's hilarious.
For example, this feud between Elon Musk and Billie Eilish. This right-wing headline reads, Elon Musk claps back at Billie Eilish after she slams him for hoarding wealth. And this left-wing article frames the same story as, Elon Musk's comebacks are as flat as his attempts at jokes. Very different vibes going on here. I have been using Ground News since 2021 because it is just a great and fun way to keep up with the news. But don't just take my—
I've also been using it for like the past like year and a half, and I don't have the subscription she's about to promote. I have the lesser one. I have the second highest, because that one was cheaper when I got it, and I couldn't afford to get the other one. Even though they were both discounted, that one was just the more affordable at the time, and I just don't want to switch because it's the yearly. So yeah. But it is a good app. I like it.
Word for it. Even the Nobel Peace Center called it an excellent way to stay informed, avoid echo chambers, and expand your worldview. Best of all, I am currently offering 40% off their Vantage.
Yeah, let me just block that real quick with my big ass head. Oh crap, what was that better? Oh yeah, what I also like about Ground News is that you can actually select the topics you're interested in. So for example, if you're interested in like Japanese politics, you can actually look for Japan and Japan and Japanese politics as like one of your interests. So now you'll get, if you add Japan, you'll get like news about Japan and stuff like that. If you add like news about SpaceX, if you add SpaceX as one of your interests, you can get like SpaceX news and all that stuff. It's actually pretty cool. So it lets you actually somewhat cultivate your own little unique news feed with whatever topics you may be interested in, and it'll prioritize those above others.
Plan, which is the plan I use to access all their amazing features. So go to ground.news/shoe or use the QR code here on screen, or use the link in the video.
Hold up. There you are. A QR code.
Description down below. It's only like $5 a month, which is
Alright.
basically the price of like a
Yeah, I have the premium, but the issue is well, okay, so here's the thing that they don't say is that the plans that they're offering is they only apply to the year from the looks of it. They don't apply to the monthly. So this you only get this monthly price of $5 if you get the yearly subscription with their code. At the end of the day, it's still good because it's literally $60. That's what you're gonna get billed. So you're essentially getting billed literally nowadays you're literally getting billed the price of what used to be a AAA video game, given how video games are AAAs are now like $80 base. So it's like you're literally paying for a AAA video game from like 2015, 2010, you know? So it's still pretty good. And it's the Vantage. You get all these features. Ownership breakdown for stories, podcasts and opinions, unlimited mind use bias analysis, your top sources, article bias. Neato. I don't get all that stuff because I have the premium plan, which the Vantage includes also all of the premium stuff.
coffee. You can also gift a subscription to somebody. Just select the Vantage subscription, add a customized gift message, and Ground News will send it straight to their inbox where they can activate it. The perfect Christmas present for your out-of-touch uncle who gets all his news from Facebook. So thank you, Ground News, for sponsoring this video, and thank you, the viewer, for not skipping the ad. Right? Now, let's get back.
Woman, I added to your ad. Don't even with me right now. I could have skipped it, but no, I did my part and I actually added information to the ad that was totally fucking not needed.
Back to the video.
Yay.
For those of you familiar with the Shoe on Head channel, you know I've harshly criticized the Democratic Party for all my career. Some say too harshly. Frankly, I don't care. And some say I'm
honestly, I say not harshly enough.
not harsh enough on the Republicans. First of all, true.
Honestly, I feel like she's a little too
But let's be honest, that's not why you come here. You go to Kyle Kalinske for that. Just like you go to Destiny to see opinions you can hear on CNN, or to Hassan for dog training tips. You come
Yo, that's a good one. Holy shit. Yo, Shoe came with the heat in this one. God damn.
here to hear, golly gee willikers, I'm left wing and the Democrats have gone crazy. That's the shit you're here for. But are the Democrats actually getting their shit together? Or did they simply get lucky in a few blue areas? One of those blue areas.
I honestly, in my opinion, I feel like they got lucky. That's what I'm gonna say. I think they got lucky in a few blue areas where they knew they were gonna win blue. And that's about it. But because like it's not like we've seen like a massive blue wave. We've only seen like what was that, like she announced at the start 3-4 Democratic wins. So it's like it's not that much. But if like more and more start flipping Democrat, then yeah, that makes more sense. I'd say they, but at the same time, it's like, are they winning because they're getting more voters, or are they winning because people aren't voting for Republicans enough? You know, like she said at the start.
Being my city, New York, where Democratic Socialist candidate Zora Mandani won the election and will become the new mayor. And a lot of people are like really confused about how this happened. And if you're one of those people, you
let's see what she says.
To keep watching. If you don't understand why Mamdani won, I'm sorry to say, but you're kind of like the liberals in 2016 who didn't understand why Trump won. It's actually
I know why Mamdani won. Okay, so the reason why Mamdani won is because right now we have this massive Palestine-Israel conflict. And right now we're seeing a shift in Gen Z where their attitude towards Israel isn't as supportive as boomers' attitudes towards Israel, where they're happy glazing Israel till the end of the earth. So, with that in mind, that's who Mamdani targeted, and that's the audience Mamdani wanted to capture. Because quite literally, everything about Mamdani was how he was gonna, every time they asked any of his opponents what would they do, one of the most famous clips that I saw circulating was during the interview. It's like, oh, what would you do when you become mayor? And they all said, "Oh, I'd go kiss the wall in Israel and whatnot," and essentially making it look like they cared more about pleasing Israel than pleasing Americans. But Mandani was pushing and what Trump pushed to win the presidency, an America First agenda. He was like, "Oh, I wouldn't go to Israel. I'd stay here and I'd focus on America and making the lives of the American people first." So when you hear everyone saying, "Oh, we're gonna go and cater towards this group of people that aren't even living in America, aren't Americans, and don't actually benefit America's economy whatsoever," and then you hear someone else saying, "Oh, I'm going to help the American people. I'm going to, ensure that you guys are good and ensure that, the American people that vote for me are happy and not cater towards people elsewhere." Yeah, the people are going to vote for the person who said, "Yeah, I'm pushing an American first agenda." That's why he won. And I remember seeing all those clips of him like being like, "Oh, like anti-Israel, anti-APAC, and all that stuff." And I was like, I literally remember thinking to myself, "Oh my god, these idiots in New York are about to vote in a socialist." Like that was literally my thought when I saw all those videos popping up. I was like, "Oh my god, New York's about to like become communist with Mamdani," because Mamdani wants a communist utopia. He wants a communist world, which is unrealistic. Which is also funny because people who want socialism and people who want communism, they're always like, "We don't want the government involved," but it's like communism is the government being involved, you idiot. It's always funny.
Extremely understandable why Zoran Mamdani won, and it's
Yep.
not just because New York is full of commies or whatever. He is objectively the best Democratic candidate that they've had in a very, very long time. Like, I know the bar is in hell there, but he
Yeah, the bar is very low, and he managed to meet the bar. Like he managed to go above it a little bit. Like it's like Shu says, he has been the best candidate they've had in a hot minute. Like for New York, like everyone else was just fucking like it's literally a case of would you rather take 10 paces across a path of burning coal, or would you rather take 10 paces across a path of broken shards of glass? It's like both are going to hurt, both are going to screw over your feet. It's a matter of which one do you really want to put up with? The burned feet or the cut up feet? That's what it essentially boiled down to in New York with Mamdani winning. It's like people essentially chose, having cuts and scrapes on their feet as opposed to having third degree burns on their feet, It's like both are bad, both are painful, but it's like they were like, "All right, which one seems realistically the better one?" Even though both are at the end of the day still just absolutely terrible.
He's young, he's energetic, he's charismatic, and people are really tired of the White House doubling as a retirement home. And of course, I like many of his economic policies. I like the universal childcare thing, the transportation, flipping off the Christopher Columbus statue. That's the shit I don't like. Bitch, that's our fucking guy. He was a brave Italian explorer who discovered America, and in this house, Christopher Columbus is
I hate to break it to Shu, but Columbus didn't discover America. It was Amerigo Vespucci who discovered America. Granted, I think he was also Italian, but it's the literal reason why we call America and why it's North America and South America is because of Amerigo Vespucci. It's named after him. It's just that instead of calling it North America and now North Americo and South America, they decided with America because all the other countries had female sounding names. You had Europe, Asia, you know, um, Africa. So they all are not feminine, but they all sounded they all ended with A's. So America, Antarctica. But yeah. Let's see here. Shit. Let's see. He was also Italian. So you know what, Shu? Even though that one portion is wrong, you can still keep your Italian win. I'll give you that much.
The hero. End of story. I've said this many times, but I don't think the good left-wing policies can even exist alongside the bad left-wing policies. Like, I don't know how you can have free transportation, but also be soft on crime. Like, I don't know, like, in what world does that work out? You can't have nice, clean, free transportation if a bunch of drug addicts and violent felons are going around stabbing people and setting them on fire. You can't have nice things if you—
Yeah, bro, how are you gonna have— okay, here's my question. All right, genuinely, how are you gonna have free transportation if every time anything happens that these liberals don't fucking like, their first go-to is literally, let's burn down public transportation? Like, how many times during these quote-unquote protests don't they just immediately start burning down vehicles? Like, and we're gonna pretend like more public transportation is gonna be good. It's not. It's not. Especially if you're soft on crime. If you actually punished criminals, that'd be a different story. Because then there'd be less crime. Because all the criminals would be in jail. So there's less criminals on the streets who commit crime. Therefore, the streets are safer. But in order for that to happen, you need to be, guess what? Harsher on crime. I know it's insane.
You don't have rules to enforce those nice things, you know what I mean? It's always such a breath of fucking fresh air when I go back to visit my family in the suburbs of Long Island and I go to the CVS and the fucking toothpaste is free from their plexiglass prisons. I shouldn't have to wait 10 minutes for some poor wagey to come unlock the cagey so I can buy fucking shampoo. We don't have to live that way.
Yo, what are these rhymes? A poor wagey? Is that what we're referring to people who make minimum wage nowadays? A wagey?
Maybe he'll do great. Or maybe he gets into power and immediately cucks to the establishment like some other people. Now let's talk about it. I just don't know how the hell anyone thought Andrew Cuomo was going to win. He killed a bunch of grandmas during COVID.
As you admitted this week, you personally altered the state health department report to undercount the death total, to hide the death total, and then evaded and lied to these families for 5 years. So
you killed a shit ton of people.
That's insane.
Oh, what? Plus, he doesn't even live in New York City. He doesn't live in the city he's running to be mayor of. Cuomo just kind of expected to win based on name recognition.
In my opinion, I'm gonna say this. In my opinion, I feel like running for certain whoa, that was weird. I feel like running for certain offices in government, you need to have certain requirements met. So, for instance, if you want to run for mayor of a city, you should live in that city. Just like if you want to run for a governor or senator of a state, you need to live in that state. You can't be the senator or the governor of Florida and be living in Washington. That makes no sense. So it's like, and just like how the president of the United States of America needs to be a natural born United States American citizen. So it's like it makes no sense to have people who don't even live in a city running to be the mayor of said city. How exactly are you gonna help the people of that city if you don't even know what the struggles of those people are? You don't live with them. You don't live among them. How would you know what their struggles are? It's like when a rich person tries to pretend they have, um, um, low income class problems, where they're like, oh no, I went to Starbucks today and they got my order wrong. Instead of putting almond milk, they put soy milk. And it's like, meanwhile, Susan's like on her third eviction notice, trying to figure out how she's gonna make ends meet. But yeah, totally the same with your miss fucking made Starbucks order. Yeah.
And being like, hey, at least I'm not the other guy. Sound familiar? Trump actually offered a vision. Make America great again. Mamdani offered a vision. A New York City you can afford. So people took a chance on him. People wanted something different. Andrew Cuomo, he had no vision or anything. Oh man, I love tuning into a debate about New York City and 80% of it is about another f***ing country.
The first foreign visit by a mayor of New York is...
yeah, this is exactly the clip that I was talking about. This is the clip that I said where they were like, oh, they'd go to Israel, and then Mamdani was like, oh, I'd focus on Americans.
Considered significant. Where would you go first?
First visit, I would visit the Holy Land.
I would
There
go
it
to
is.
Israel. I'd
There
make
it
my
is.
fourth trip to Israel.
Mr. Mamdani.
I would stay in New York City. My plans are to address New Yorkers across the 5 boroughs and focus on that.
Mr. Mamdani.
That's why he won. That clip was circulating the internet really hard, and this is why he won, because while everyone else was pandering to Israel, he was the one saying, I'm going to put you, the American people, first. And that's why he won.
Can I just jump in? Would you visit Israel?
That was the exact moment I knew Zoran was going to win. Bro
Yep.
was just surrounded by NPCs.
Bro. And let's not even get into that fucking question. Would you visit Israel? No, bitch. Why do I have to visit Israel? This is America. Why are we talking about another country? Why would I have to visit another country? The fuck is wrong with you? No, ew. I don't want to go anywhere near Israel. The fuck? I want to get spat on by some fucking syphilis infested fuck. Are you kidding me? All because I wear a cross around my neck instead of a star? Go fuck yourself. The fuck? No, I'm gonna stay here and focus on the American people's needs. Go to Israel. What do you take me for? Some kind of sellout? Ha! Please. The only person I sell out to is Jesus Christ.
I love how they're like, where would you go? And Zoran was like, I'm gonna stay here. And instead of being like, no, Zoran, the question was, where would you go? They're like, why wouldn't you go to Israel? Like, that's the answer to the question. Like, that's just the default answer to that question. His win was very much in part a direct response to the affordability crisis that many Americans are facing. So what is the GOP's answer to the affordability crisis? Oh, great news, guys.
Increase taxes. Yeah, let's tax the hell out of New York. They'll teach them to mess with us. I swear to God, if their solution was taxes, I'll be like, bro, what are they, the British?
There is no affordability crisis. It doesn't exist. It's all in your head, silly. Need to save money? Simply don't buy your grandmother a Christmas present this year.
Budget, budget, budget. You need a plan. Also remember, adults don't need gifts, okay? Focus on the people in your life who are age 3 to 18. Grandma doesn't need slippers. If they don't live by you, don't get them a gift. Now's not the time to spend and break the banks.
Zoran's win was also based
Oh my fucking God, dude. The point isn't the gift. The point is the thought of the gift. You're not buying a gift to, it isn't a checklist. You're not buying a gift for someone as like some checklist for the holiday seasons. You're buying a gift for them because you appreciate them. It's your way of showing gratitude for them. Like, what? To show that they matter in your life. That's why it's not the amount of the gift. It's not the cost of the gift. It's the thought that matters, you know?
basically a direct response to the housing crisis in America. So what is the GOP's response to the pie-in-the-sky, commie gobbledygook that Zoran Mamdani is selling? Surely they have a better solution.
Here we go. The White House is floating this idea. Bill Pulte is saying, thanks to
Oh my
President
God.
Trump, we can indeed work on the 50-year mortgage, a complete game changer. How does that work in dollars? Here you go. 30-year fixed mortgage right now. You're paying $2,038 a month, principal and interest on a $400,000 home. At the bottom, under 50 years, you'd save a couple $100 a month at $1,822 principal and interest. That is proposed. Do you like this idea?
I do not like this idea.
Not lowering prices, not building more housing, no, just being a good little slave to the bank for 50 years. You might as well be—
Yeah, I was about to say, how is that any better? Yeah. Oh my God, dude. My literal brain was like, wait, what? I was like, at the end of the day, it's still the same thing. It's just for longer. It's like when you buy something online and instead of wanting to pay it in full, you want to do it in installments, and it sends you to a firm and it gives you the different tier of installments. At the end of the day, the price will be the same. You know, the only thing that changes is the amount that you have to pay in the installment plus the interest. So it's like, oh my God, man, it's so dumb. It's like, yeah, okay, cool. You do 50 years and it's what, lower? You 30 years, it's 2K. 40 years, it's 1891, and in 50 years, it's 1822. Wow, what a difference from 91 to 22 for 40 to 50 years. That's insane. I know this is proposed, but whatever. And interest. Let's not pretend like the interest isn't gonna increase every time they decrease the amount that's the principal amount to mitigate the loss of lowering it. That's why they increase the interest rate with the longer you go. It's like, oh my God, dude.
be a rentoid forever in this case. Like, at least you don't have to fix your own dishwasher. You will own nothing and be happy. Doesn't that sound great, Gen Z? Vote for us. We'll release the Epstein files and finally drain the swamp. Awesome. Finally, justice. Here it comes, the Epstein files phase 1. We got all your favorite E-celebs here. Don't you think that's a little tacky? I mean, like, this is an international child trap. The Epstein files are on my desk. Oh, that's great. That's great. That's what we've been waiting for.
The Epstein files don't exist. That's exactly what it's gonna go into. Bro, honestly, I yearn for a woman to stare at me the way Shu's soulless eyes stare into the void that is whatever wall she's looking at for this shot. Honestly. I yearn for a woman to look at me and smile like that, because I know that after this look and this smile, she's just gonna walk up to me, whisper my entire full name at me, and say, "Can I talk to you over here privately?" And I know I'm in for the scolding of a lifetime. And that's just gonna turn me on. All right, let's continue.
Well,
They don't exist. Yeah,
Wait,
there it is.
What? Yeah, the Epstein files don't exist. They're a Democrat hoax. But you just said, hey, what the fuck? That's my wallet. Sorry, Israel needs new weapons. Bye.
Fuck Israel.
What do you want,
Ain't
Democrat?
no way.
Vote for us. Why? What do you have to offer? Hey, that's my wallet again.
Yeah. Forgot you left your EBT card in there. The Republicans didn't take that. They only took your cold hard cash. So the Democrats are going after the EBT card in the wallet.
What are you people doing? Sorry. Israel needs new weapons. Bye. The Epstein
Left wing and right wing of the same goddamn Israeli bird. Am I right, fellas?
files are a really big deal. This is not a partisan issue.
The what?
Bye. The Epstein files are a really big deal. This is not a partisan issue. You should absolutely care about an international child trafficking blackmail operation consisting of the most powerful people in the world. And anyone telling you to move on is coping, gaslighting, or in on it. If whatever is in there is so damning that it is a national—
Guys, you should totally move on. You should totally move on from the Epstein files. You totally won't see my name in there under cutest femboys on the planet.
security risk, the people deserve to know. Like, I don't know about you, but if we are paying taxes to a bunch of satanic pedophiles, I would like to know. That is information I would like to know. Like, I already know we're doing that, but I would like some confirmation. Okay, so
yeah, some solid proof, some concrete evidence, you know, something to back up our delusions that, you know, the shadow people truly do run the planet.
literally, as I am filming this, Trump is saying he is releasing the Epstein files. So I guess they weren't a hoax. I'm gonna be so honest. I have no idea what the is going on, you guys. I'm sure when this video gets posted, there's already gonna be more things that have happened. Also, Mike Johnson apparently said,
Yo. I wonder if she's gonna talk about the email. The email about Bubba and Trump. It's so fucking good. So many funny memes came from that email.
They need to make changes to the files to make sure we, quote, don't do permanent damage to the political system.
No, what do you mean? What? No, do permanent damage to the political system. If the political system is this frail, then maybe we need a better one. How about that? Crazy fucking thought. But if our system is that fickle that something like this can essentially just shatter it into a million pieces, then maybe we should probably switch to a different system or try to come up with a new system entirely. So that way, you know, something like this doesn't happen again, you know, where this is a non-issue and it doesn't matter.
If releasing the Epstein files would do damage to the political system, then so be it. Then it deserves to be damaged. It deserves to be destroyed. Just release the files.
But don't you understand? Don't you understand? It would put so many politicians that are enjoying retirement out of retirement. They might have to get actual 9-to-5s and work because people won't want to pay their bullshit retirement funds anymore with their insider trading and
After all, if you have nothing to hide, you have nothing to fear. Isn't that right, government? But it wasn't just the Epstein files thing that has MAGA feeling a little demoralized lately.
Does that mean the H-1B visa thing will not be a big priority for your administration?
Oh, right. Yeah. Oh, dude, this was so bad. I hated his response to this because it's like, bro, I'll talk about it once he says it.
If you want to raise wages for American workers, you can't flood the country with tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of foreign workers.
You also do have to bring in talent. When
we have plenty of talented people here.
No, you don't.
We don't have talented people here?
No, you don't have certain talents, and people have to learn.
We've talked about this a few times.
Okay, then crazy fucking thought here, Mr. President. Fix the goddamn education system. How about that? Oh, we don't have talented people there. Then how about we fucking start making some talented people? Why don't we actually start, you know, encouraging people to pursue these career paths? So that way we home grow our own scientists and engineers and all these other I don't want to say high level education, but high level of intellect jobs, you know, like the like astronomers, your physicists, your theorists, all these people, you know, the ones that do all this stuff and whatnot that come from other countries. Why not instead then fix our own personal education? I've said this before too. Fix the goddamn education system. You literally say that you want to make lives for Americans better. Okay, then why not start at the root of the next generation? Why not start sowing the seed so that way the next generation actually has their lives better? Why not ensure that the next generation has an actual proper education, so that way we don't have to outsource these jobs. I'll tell you why. It's because we'd probably start losing a whole lot of this is the thing. Even if you want to use the argument of like, oh, the more people who get educated, the less people there are to work like factory jobs. It's like, okay, well, there are no people in America. There are no Americans working the factory jobs to begin with because they're flooded with other people. So it's like, bro, same fucking issue.
This channel, actually very recently in the male loser epidemic video, the no talented Americans thing is a myth pushed on us by corpos and billionaires, so they can hire foreign workers who will work for less money and won't unionize. Worker drones who will work under the coercion of deportation, essentially creating infinite scab labor. Even though there are so many Americans in these fields looking for jobs. But those spoiled Americans will ask for a living wage so they can live in a 600-foot square apartment. How dare—
Right? How dare we pay our workers a living wage? Don't they know that comes out of our CEO pockets? Don't they know that that would cost us another yacht? Don't they know that I need my 15th yacht? God, those goddamn greedy fucking workers wanting to be paid more. Don't they know gas for my yachts is expensive?
they? We can't do that. So import 1 billion immigrants. After all, it's good for business.
Folks are not thrilled about this idea of hundreds of thousands of foreign students in the United States.
If we were to cut that in half, which perhaps...
The issue is, how is this putting American people first? You're literally essentially saying, yeah, I'm not going to focus on educating the American people, which is something that I said I would do because it falls under focusing on the American people first. I'm instead going to do the opposite and import a whole bunch of people from the outside so that way they can get an education here, which, funny enough, doesn't make sense, because if that's the case, why wouldn't you give the education to the Americans and make them smarter? But I digress. Yeah, we're gonna import a whole bunch of immigrants, not illegals because they're being imported legally. We're gonna import a whole bunch of immigrants in, and they're gonna take your jobs, and you're gonna be happy with it. And it's like, because you're uneducated. And it's like, wait, what? Well, then why don't you fix the education system and educate us? Because you'll get too educated, and we don't want that.
To make some people happy, you would have half the colleges in the United States go out of business. And it's not that I want them.
I agree with her. So what? So what if these colleges go out of business? Some of these colleges do deserve to go out of businesses with the degrees that they're pumping out and the goddamn graduates that are coming out of their schools. Like, we need more goddamn Antifa protesters out on the street. Yeah, some of these colleges should get shut down. Who gives a shit?
But I view it as a business.
Unfortunately, America does feel like nothing but 3 corporations in a trench coat. But America is not a business. America is not a corporation. It is a nation. The contrast of what Trump is saying here compared to how he used to talk is staggering. Republicans embracing populism, at least rhetorically, is what gave rise to Donald Trump and fundamentally changed the way Republicans do politics in America. If you go back and watch the debates of Donald Trump in 2016, it's crazy.
Yeah, I was about to say, this doesn't even feel like the same Trump we had in 2016. Like, yeah, you can make the jokes that Donnie's mellowed down a little bit, but it's like, with like him not tweeting like crazy shit every day. But it's like, it genuinely does feel like he has changed drastically compared to how he was and some of his stances were, because certain stances that he had were really good and they just changed randomly out of nowhere for this presidency. And it's like, bro, what happened to that president, you know?
Should have never been in Iraq. We have destabilized the Middle East. They lied. They said there were weapons of mass destruction. There were none, and they knew there were none. There were no weapons of mass destruction.
All right.
I remember being like, damn, that's not how politicians in general really talked at that time. Like, we would see it from Bernie Sanders and maybe like—
Yeah, like bro, 2016 Trump was so memorable. You literally had comedians straight up just stating what happened during the debate with Hillary. Like you have like it's literally part of it's part of one of Dave Chappelle's entire acts is the debate and how how Hillary was trying to call Trump a snake because he abuses certain tax laws, and he's like, yeah, I do it because I'm smart and I know you ain't gonna change them.
Like Ron Paul, but to get up on stage in a Republican debate in front of Republican donors saying that kind of shit was unheard of. Bro was getting booed. Trump won in 2016 by decrying the bloodlust and warmongering of the Republican Party, but also by speaking to the economic woes of the average working class American. Basically saying, I see you, to people who felt like they haven't been seen by either party in a very long time. Like, I saw people in my life, my neighbors and stuff, that were all like Obama voters, like just flipped to Trump, and now like all of Long Island. Long Island is like the Florida of the Northeast, bro. It is like Trump country there
Jesus
now.
Christ.
Before Trump... Oh, my nuggies are here. My nuggies are here. 1 second. 1 second. I must go get my nuggies. It's nuggie time.
Oh, I hate ASMR.
Mother, by the way.
I was about to say, aren't you a mom? Married, by the way, as well. She has a husband. She provides for that man, mind you. My god damn. Oh, she was gonna be a great fucking mom. I can feel it. I can already feel it.
For Trump, the Democrats basically relied on talking about how the Republican Party didn't care about the working class. But eventually, the problem for Democrats was the working class didn't care about them. But now it seems like the Republican Party is going back on all that and becoming the Bush-era neoconservative party again, right as they're winning, embracing freaks like Lindsey Graham.
So I just want to say, I feel good about the Republican Party. I feel good about where we're going as a nation. We're killing all the right people and we're cutting your taxes. Trump is my favorite president.
Republican Jewish coalition. Disgusting.
We've run out of bombs. We didn't run out of bombs in World War II.
Republicans, is that what you want your party to be?
No, I don't want my party associating with any of them, not gonna lie. You know, that might come off a certain way, but it's like, bro, my guy's literally talking about fucking bombs. Like, I don't want to associate with any fucking warmongers. Fuck no. What? How are you gonna go up there and be like, oh my god, America's so great? Why? Because we got so many bombs? Like, no. That's such a bad fucking example of why America's so great. Like, oh my god, people who genuinely just have war on the mind. Oh my god, this is Republican Cheney. God, fuck the Cheneys. Oh, these fucking people. Yeah, America's so great. Why? Because we have so many nuclear weapons. Yeah, that's what makes America great. Oh my god. Let's not talk about anything else that could possibly make America right.
Lowering taxes and killing people. We tried that already. To many Republicans, the solution to the affordability crisis, wreaking havoc on Americans, is simply trusting the free market, working hard, and if that doesn't work, they bust out all reliable.
If you're a young person and you can't afford to live here, then maybe you should not live here. I mean, that is a real thing. Yeah, I know that we've now grown up in a society that says that you deserve to live where you grew.
All right, Ben, here's my question. Are you going to pay for me to move? Are you going to give me some of that Jewish gold you keep in that little pouch around your neck so I can skedaddle on somewhere where I can live comfortably? No? Then, in my opinion, you should probably just shut the fuck up.
Grew up, but the reality is...
Not everyone has the money to just pick up and go to another state or country. Just because they think they might have it better off there than they did here, you know?
The history of America is almost literally the opposite of that.
Ah yes, the classic. Just move. Just move from Economic Zone 67 to Economic Zone 69. I don't know, man. Maybe some people actually like it.
69.
Where they live. Maybe they want to make their community better. This is like the libertarian version of just deal with it when you talk to leftists about crime. Like, no, we shouldn't just deal with it. We shouldn't just move. Maybe we can make the cities in our country livable and safe. Maybe better things are possible, actually. My husband and I
It's like when liberals are like, guys should open up and more about their emotions. Then one guy does that, and their response is not, oh, we support you. It's quit being a bitch and pull yourself up by your bootstraps, pussy. Yeah, it's exactly like that.
moved away from our families because of his job, and it f***ing sucks. It sucks raising kids without an extended family around. Say hi to grandma on FaceTime. Not normal, not natural. When I was growing up, it was like aunts and uncles and cousins and grandparents were just coming in and out of my house, like bringing over food, like, hey, I got some mancati. I would be babysat by my cousins and my aunts. And because we moved away, my kid won't have that. And I wouldn't be surprised.
God, that sounds like hell on earth. But at the same time, I don't like people, so you know. One man's nightmare is another man's dream.
If that's one reason many young people are putting off having children. The complete lack of community, the lack of a village. If you can't afford to live where your family lives, just move to fucking Gary, Indiana, where there's nobody around and no jobs and no family and no friends.
My opinion at that point, if your advice is, oh, you don't like where you live, move, then your advice might as well be, oh, you don't like where you live, join the military and live off the bases. Honestly, which is funny because that's basically what I might end up doing, genuinely, because it's like, bro, this shit's a fucking pain, man. It's a fucking pain. I'd rather fucking spend 3 months losing all this fat, getting in shape, and fucking re-enlisting and whatnot, talking to a recruiter, and like, I mean, I already know I can re-enlist. My recruiter, I talked to one like 2 years ago, you know, when I wanted to. I was just curious to see if I could. And he was like, I showed him all my medical stuff, and he was like, yeah, you could re-enlist. You just need a clearance from a psychologist or a psychiatrist, some shit like that. One of those two. Forget which one. I'll have to go and talk to a recruiter again and whatnot, and get some more information. But yeah, like, I might be able to, and if I can, that's exactly what I'm gonna do. Just fuck it, man. This shit's hard.
But hey, at least you can afford a house there. That's not how life should work, Ben. Maybe take a step back and try to understand. Am I doing bird hands too much? You guys have made me so insecure about the fucking bird hands thing ever since this meme.
We did shoot dirty. I'm in the way. Look at this. Oh, look at poor mama's shoe on the top left hand with the flag in the background. When a liberal woman brings out this hand gesture, get ready to hear the worst take of your life. Oh, shoe isn't. She always says what she is. I forget if she's a liberal or not. I don't think she is. I think she's like a libertarian, like a humanitarian. I fucking don't know.
Listen, I'm a woman, okay? We are programmed to scold children, and when no children are around.
Yeah, she's also Italian, so it doesn't help that her default is pointed finger hand gesture, you know.
We scold people on the internet, okay? Anyway, Nick Fuentes is a far-right commentator and a controversial figure to say the least. But his main topic he covers is Israel, which is an extremely hot topic that many other right-wing commentators seem to not want to touch. And the rare times they do touch it, it's them telling you not to talk about it, questioning why you care so much, or shape-shifting into the woke mob they fought against for so many years, calling you names, calling for you to be censored. What's funny is they didn't care about any of Nick Fuentes' rants on like race or women. They only started caring when his rants on Israel were blowing up. Nick recently did an interview with
Fuentes says some of the funniest stuff on the internet, man. It's hilarious sometimes. Like if you ignore like some of the like his some of the more extremist stuff he says, And some of the things he says is so funny out of pocket. And you're just like, what did he just say? Did he really just say that? You replay it and then you just die laughing because you're like, oh my god, he actually just said that. That's wild.
Tucker Carlson, which completely ignited the MAGA civil war that was brewing on the right for some time now. It got so ridiculous that even Chuck Schumer went on the Senate floor and called for a disavowal of Nick Fuentes. Sir, with all due respect, none. Why do politicians need a resolution in the Senate to disagree with a citizen? Hello, I have gathered you all here today to disavow Hitler Bussy for—
Just remember, Shu, they also disavowed Jesus when he was speaking the truth. So, just saying, Jesus was crucified for speaking the truth. And, yeah, it seems like the Democrats try to do a lot of crucifying nowadays. Just saying.
People can't afford groceries, Charles. Ben Shapiro, in particular, has spent the last few months extremely confused and angry about Zohran Mamdani and Nick Fuentes becoming popular in the mainstream, all while his numbers continue to drop. I honestly don't think he understands what is happening here, so I am going to explain to you, Ben, what exactly is going on here.
I can explain it pretty easily. No one gives a shit about your bullshit, very biased towards Israel opinions. In America, they want to hear opinions and things about American people and the American way of life. They don't want to hear about how, oh, woe is the Israeli people because Palestine is doing X thing while, the American people are struggling, especially when you proclaim the Daily Wire to be an American news outlet.
The American dream does not exist anymore for most people. Young people followed advice that worked for older generations, and it got them nowhere. Young people are tired of this stale, moldy old dead consensus that has dominated American politics for a very long time. The one that dragged us into all these foreign wars and sold us out for some cheap plastic shit from China. Young people are tired of being told to sit down and shut up and pledge allegiance to the free market in a country that seems to not give a shit about them, as well as a foreign country they have absolutely no connection to. For so long, establishment hacks and establishment shills looked at the issues bothering the people and just kind of dismissed them. Can't afford to live where you grew up? Just move. Don't like that the toothpaste is locked behind plexiglass? Just deal with it. Think it's kind of f***ed up how you work 40 hours a week and still can't afford to pay rent? What are you, some kind of communist? You don't like funding a genocide with your tax dollars? What are you, anti-Semitic? If you don't address the issues of the people will gravitate towards those who are addressing those issues. It's not Mamdani's fault he won. It's yours. It's not Nick Fuentes' fault he's popular. It's yours. The tragedy of Ben Shapiro is that he led a life worshipping the free market, only to lose in the free marketplace of ideas. Now, with all this neocon—
Honestly, her roasting Ben just reminds me of like all those memes I've been saying of like Ben and like the audience and whatnot. It's like, and it's like that Kung Fu Panda scene. It's like Master Shifu training like baby Tai Lung when he's like a little cub. And like at the top, and like Master Shifu's Ben and Tai Lung is like the audience, and it's like and the caption at top is like facts don't care about your feelings because that's what Ben says. But then the next scene is the scene of Tai Lung at the top of the stairs staring down at Shifu towards the end, and it's like Christ is king. It just reminded me of that. I love those memes.
Rhetoric coming out of the GOP. Are the Democrats going to pick up the populist ball that they are fumbling? Are they actually going to get their shit together? Well, they are trying because they have written an article called Deciding to Win, where after interviewing over 300,000 American voters from both parties, they may have finally discovered these—
Yeah, right. I highly doubt they interviewed anyone from the Republican side. Highly doubt it.
Secret to winning.
To give ourselves the best chance to win, we recommend the following changes to our approach.
What the fuck is this AI shoe on head voice? What the fuck was that? Why does it sound like a text-to-speech voice, but it's shoe on head?
Democrats need to 1. Focus our messaging on an economic program centered on lowering costs, growing the economy, creating jobs, and expanding the social safety net. 2. advocate for popular economic policies, moderate our positions where our agenda is unpopular, including on issues like immigration, public safety, energy production, and some identity and cultural issues.
So, don't do anything about it. Just watch what we say about these topics. So essentially, they're not going to do anything about it. They're just going to walk around eggshell. They're just going to walk like they're walking on eggshells while they're talking, while they're not even talking, while they're approached about these subjects. They're going to tippy-toe, essentially give you a whole bunch of nothing burger. Good old word vomit.
So basically it took you guys 10 years, millions of dollars, and dozens of Microsoft team meetings to come to the conclusion that everyone has been saying forever. You wasted a decade worshipping at the altar of mentally ill Karens, and now you're acting like, hey, what if we were normal is a groundbreaking political discovery. F*** you. I could have told you all this for free. It is a bad sign that it took you over a decade to come to the same conclusion that my audience has come to like a decade ago. And they're all retarded. Please reflect on this, I beg of you. Also, what do you mean you had unpopular positions on public safety? Like, why would you even say that all out? Yeah, let's vote for the party that admits it was wrong about the issue of crackheads shanking people in the street. I love this quote from...
Or the fact that, you know, the mostly quote-unquote peaceful protests. Let's not get into that issue. How they were lighting buses on fire and throwing pieces of literal pavement at police officers and police vehicles on the freeway. Yeah, let's not get into that.
Nancy Pelosi randomly shoved in here.
Winning an election is a decision. You make a decision to win, and then you make every decision in favor of winning.
How deep! How thought-provoking! Thank you, Nancy. What would we do without you? Probably win an election.
Democrats have changed our focus. In comparison with the Democratic Party of 2012, today's Democratic Party is more focused on issues like climate change, democracy, abortion, and identity and cultural concerns, and less focused on the economy and middle class. The table below...
Wait, what? Okay. Okay, so... Okay, I see. I thought they were, I misheard, and I thought that they were saying that the party of 2012 was primarily focused on these things, and I was going to say, that's exactly what you're focused on right now. Nothing's changed, but no. They're stating that this is what they're focusing on now compared to what they focused on in 2012. All right, I don't know why, that just confused the ever-living hell out of me.
Shows the shift. Through an analysis of the prevalence of selected words in the 2024 Democratic Party platform in comparison with the 2012 Democratic Party platform.
This whole study is really interesting, but I need you guys to see this chart because when I first saw this, the scream I...
Wait, what did that say? What was that headline?
Platform. This whole study is really interesting, but I need you...
Democrat Party's priorities have changed. Changing the frequency per 1,000 words of select terms in Democratic platforms, 12 to 14. All right. Terms: white, black, Latino. Absolute change. 1137%. 1137% change. What the fuck? Climate, 150% increase. Guns, 725%. Alphabet, 1044. Justice, 76. Wow, that's insane. Democracy. Reproductive, so like abortion, I'm assuming. Equity, economy, I'm assuming. No, because economics is right down here.
You guys to see this chart because when I first saw this, the scream I screamed. So Democrats since 2012 have increased their rhetoric on race by, sit down, 1,137%. On the gays, 1,044%. Their rhetoric on men has decreased by 51%. It is now negative 51%. On fathers, negative 100%. They just stopped talking about that shit. Veterans, negative 31. The economy, negative 51, because nobody cares about that, right? The middle class, 79%.
Oh my
but
God.
I guess you can't really talk about something that is disappearing. And jobs, negative 47%. It somehow gets worse. Apparently, voters trust Republicans more on the most important issues to them, and trust Democrats the most on the least important issues to them. Like, they literally care the least about LGBT, but trust Democrats the most with it. The most popular Democratic policies among voters are things like lowering drug prices, banning stock trading, expanding Medicare, and raising
banning stock trading, you fucking idiots. Do you know what that would do to our economy? Where the fuck does it say that? Medicare, lowering costs, affordable healthcare, jobs, economic growth, taxes, middle class, lowering crime rates, secure border, raising taxes on the wealthy. Where the fuck does it say that? Banning trading stocks? Are you kidding me? Do you know how badly that would bankrupt America? How quickly that would just send America into the gutter? If people weren't allowed to, the Wall Street would collapse entirely. The NASDAQ would be worthless.
While the most unpopular Democratic policies are things like abolishing the police, providing free healthcare to illegal immigrants, and affirmative action. You're telling me this for the first time. Democrats, here is some advice for free. You can't just be MAGA light. Why would people drink Mr. Pibb when Dr. Pepper is right there? You know what I'm saying? You gotta bring something different, something better to the table. And that difference should be working class focused economic populism.
Yeah, why would you eat turkey bacon when you could have actual bacon?
I don't just want two neocon parties, okay? But all this is pointless when it's clear the Dems are not changing at all. They're just gonna change their messaging. They're putting pretty wrapping paper and a bow on a big fat smelly turd. There is a chance that the Democrats may win based entirely on Orange Man bad again, which means they might get into office by learning absolutely f***ing nothing again. Then the voters will go, oh my god, nothing has changed, and then they'll vote for a Republican. American politics is just saying,
and the cycle will continue, which is why I say that the two-party system is booty butt cheeks. But because we've been using the two-party system for so long, it's kind of now sort of semi-impossible to switch off of the two-party system, which, you know, at the end of the it does suck because the two-party system is terrible, and I wish there was a better system in play, but unfortunately there isn't, so it's sort of what we're stuck with. So we just got to make the best out of a shitty situation. So yeah, it just sucks.
Revolving door of villains, isn't it? Rest assured, whoever wins, we lose. If you're actually gonna do this shit, if you're actually gonna do what you're saying in this little article, you better be going whole hog, not just the tip. I'm talking embracing shoesalism.
Hey, yo, what's this?
For many years, I have been smeared as many things. Grifter, flip-flopper, fence-sitter, race...
Dude, woman, man, something in between, cryptid. Those are just some that I can think of off the top of my head.
Sexist, homophobic, but I am not a grifter, flip-flopper, or a fence-sitter. I'm simply living in 2055. You see, America has...
Notice how she didn't deny being a racist, chat. He says chat like this is live, bruh.
Been a hyper-capitalist, economically center-right, socially center-left country since about the mid-century. And I know libertarians in my audience are gonna be like, it's not capitalism, it's cronyism. Okay, whatever the f you want to call it, it sucks, okay? So what if instead, and hear me out, what if instead we were a more people-focused, community-focused, working-class-focused, economically left, socially right country? All the data—
You're asking absolutely too much of people, Shu. I hate to be that guy, but you are genuinely asking too much of everyone. And it sucks, honestly.
Shows more people fall into that quadrant, the populist quadrant, the socialist quadrant, if you will, than the current system we are in today. If a socialist party existed, it would be incredibly popular, but it doesn't exist. And that's probably by design, honestly. The Social Democrat Party of Denmark has passed many progressive policies that liberals in America would only dream of. Protection from rent hikes, free college and healthcare, carbon taxes, and a very strong welfare system. But the Social Democrat Party also believes in a strict immigration policy. They believe that if immigration is too fast or chaotic, it puts pressure on working class communities, weakens social unity, and makes it harder to maintain their strong welfare system. Wow, what a f***ing grifter Denmark is. I feel like so many people nowadays are like terminally left-right brain to the point where like they look at issues and instead of being like, that solution makes sense to me, I believe that, I agree with that, they instead go, that's the left-wing solution, therefore I will believe in that. And it's so stupid and hyper-partisan and makes absolutely no sense to me, and that's why I think like a lot of left-right brain hyper-partisan people don't understand me or people like me. That's why they call me a centrist or fence-sitter or flip-flopper or whatever. And it's like, no, I'm not a fence-sitter. I have many strong opinions. You just don't like them. And no, I'm not a flip-flopper.
Yeah, Shu's opinions are on both sides. She's quite literally, I don't want to say centrist, but she's quite literally in the center. She likes concepts from both parties as well as dislikes certain concepts from both parties. You know, it's like crap, I'm trying to think of an example. Crap. Honestly, I can't think of an actual good example, but like the gist of it is that, you know, she has she likes both sides. It's just that she can be, she doesn't define herself as strictly left or right because the world isn't really that, the world isn't that black and white, and B, she doesn't align with predominantly left or right people. Like, she aligns more with people in the center, you know, people who like and dislike certain things about both parties, and that's honestly fine.
Just because you don't understand the concept of having opinions that don't perfectly fall on the arbitrary, always changing left-right axis that is American circus politics. There's nothing incoherent about my beliefs on paper. None of them
yeah, it's like being it's like believing that God is incapable of change, you know?
Contradict one another. I don't understand. She likes free healthcare but doesn't want to chemically castrate children? She believes in workers' rights but wants a stricter border? I don't get it. Like, where is the contradiction? I'm basically just Bernie Sanders before he got his spine surgically removed by the DNC. In conclusion, MAGA and the Republican Party embracing populism is what made them so popular in the first place. But if the Republican Party's answer to all these issues young people are having is, F you, just move, you're not talented, maybe you'll own a home when you're 70 years old, they're doomed. Like, they had a small, brief fling with populism and ghosted it. Just pumped and dumped. Like a fat whore they're ashamed of and won't bring out on dates in public.
As I'm editing this, Trump and Mamdani had a meeting together, and it was very interesting.
We were discussing when Bernie Sanders was out of the race, I picked up a lot of his votes, and people had no idea. When he was put out of the race, I think quite unfairly, if you want to know the truth, many of the Bernie Sanders voters voted for me. And I felt very comfortable, frankly, in seeing that and saying that. I would feel very, very comfortable being in New York, and I think much more so after the meeting. We agree on a lot more than I would have thought.
I'm sorry, this is my new favorite problematic Yowie ship. They love each other. Maybe it's not over, folks. Maybe the power of friendship and populism will save us all.
Listen, I want my—
Yo, it would actually be wild if, like, Mamdani pulls a complete fucking 180 and pulls a John Fetterman. starts pushing these like ultra conservative views and whatnot. It'd just be so funny after his meeting with Trump.
Kids to grow up in a safe and affordable world where they can get jobs and they can start a family and then they can have the same for their kids. And I feel like at the end of the day, that's what most people want, left and right. They just have different ideas on how to get there. It just so happens my ideas happen to be the correct ones, and if you disagree with them, you will be sent to the re-education camp. Do you want one? Do you want a nuggie? Pledge your allegiance to shoe-salism, and you get a nuggie. So that was that little video. If you liked it, please subscribe for more, and if you want to help support the channel, donate to my Patreon, link down below. All patrons get every single video uncensored a day early. If you can't or don't want to support me on Patreon, that's fine. I don't care. I didn't want you to anyway. Baka.
God, oh my fucking God! I was about to say, I hate when women start acting like this because I find it to be excruciatingly adorable and I tend to fold. Then she hits me with this shit and I'm like, bro, if you hit me with this shit, I'm like, no. That feeling immediately goes out the window and you have no sympathy for me. No, you have no sympathy for me, woman. Silence, wench.
Okay, I will see you guys soon with a fun slop video just in time
Yay!
before Christmas.
Hey, let's go! Bro, I cannot fucking wait! Oh man, it's gonna be great. Oh, let's see, is there anything at the end? Let's see. 4 seconds? No? That's insane. Who is this? This isn't my shoe on head. My shoe on head always leaves like the last 8 to 10 seconds with some weird little skit. Doesn't just cut it clean and dry. But anyway, that's the video. If you enjoyed it, like, comment, and subscribe, and all that YouTube jazz, and I'll catch y'all in the next one later. God, I love shoe on head.